Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is Tuesday, June 5th, and this is the market overview. Looking at the Dow, SPX, VIX, TNA, UUP, FXE, GLD, SLV, XOY, XLF, Apple, JP Morgan, and that's it. Okay, so here we are. It was kind of a ho-hum day, I would say. First off, we had the news, Spain asking for a bailout, really put the screws to the rally that was going on all throughout Asia overnight. Looked really, really good. And then we had the G7 call, which accomplished absolutely nothing. So, emergency calls from the bigwigs, absolutely worthless. And yeah, I think that's kind of reflected in the action today. Dow up 25 points, nope, 26 points, and ending with a small spinning top. We were saying last night that we were outside the lower Bollinger Band, needed to go up or to the side to get back within it, and that's exactly what happened. Spinning top, not so great. Almost looks like it wants to attempt to shift gears, but it's still too early in the daily time frame. Certainly, we still do not have a big red candle to confirm breaking below the 200-day moving average. So that's a plus for the bullish perspective. Beyond that, we do not have an uptick in the short-term moving averages. We can see the excessive separation, the bubble forming here. So it is there. Question will be, can we get to the 200-day moving average? Can we get back above it? And I think there's some clues about that here. We have the 14-day RSI moving average still ticking down. We have the stochastics attempting to turn up on the CCI, up on the RSI, sideways on the MACD histogram. We really needed an uptick on that. We did not get that. And down on the MACD itself. Yeah. So very mixed picture, very tentative. And if this is the point where it is going to try to turn, it is going to try to bounce. This is very early in that. I really hope we'll get some more development by the end of the week. Going to the 60-minute time frame. We said last night that we liked this chart. We liked the 60-minute chart. And yeah, overall, not bad. I mean, we were up for the day. We still have the 14-day RSI moving average just getting underway to the upside. Stochastics are moving high already. The CCI is already high. The RSI is just crossing the 50. It is positive. The stochastic. The MACD histogram is still sloping up, and the MACD also is moving on up. So 60-minute time frame, yeah, it still looks pretty darn good to me. So hopefully some continued movement in the direction that we desire tomorrow. And hopefully it'll be convincing. SPX, this is more interesting than the Dow. For one, we closed right at the 200-day moving average. We peaked above it, backed off, closed right at it. Very interesting. We did not get a uptick on the short-term moving averages, unfortunately. Came really close to a flat, but nope, it's still down. Can see the excessive separation. There is a bubble here. 14-day RSI moving average, very slight tick down. Stochastics are trying to turn, not as convincing as the Dow. Up on the CCI, up on the RSI, up on the MACD histogram, different than the Dow, and slightly down on the MACD itself. This is much better than the Dow. If this is able to break above the 200, the Dow should follow it. 60-minute time frame. We said we liked it last night, and this was much better than the Dow. Up 0.57%, whereas the Dow was 0.22. So more than twice as good as the Dow. Very nice. We can see the 14-day RSI moving average moving on up along with the stochastics. The CCI actually ticked a little bit down at the end of the day, but still it's not the end of the world. Up on the RSI, up on the histogram, up on the MACD. Very nice. And in the daily, we still have the the positive divergences that we've talked about in videos past. They're all over the place, and in the daily time frame, Dow and SPX. So is now the time? Certainly could be. CompQ, the Nasdaq, even beating SPX on the way up, and this one's more interesting. For one, we got a good move above the 200-day moving average. Notice that the bar is not, or the candle is not completely above the 200-day moving average, so we still do not have confirmation, but we do have an uptick, and we did break and close above the lower price consensus level for this month. Excellent. And now that we have this uptick, it would give us a target of 28.31 roundabout. A nice move to the upside. Beyond that, 14-day RSI moving average has leveled out. It's not upticking yet, but it has leveled out. Stochastics attempting to turn up on the CCI, up on the RSI, up on the histogram, and sideways on the MACD. Much, much, much better. And if the Nasdaq is going to resume its place as leading, this is not a bad chart at this point. So it is encouraging. 60-minute time frame. Any different? Looks very similar to SPX. And 60-minute time frame, we are coming into contact with the long-term moving average bar. It might have a little bit of problem here. We can see that as it came up, kissed it, had a red bar, and went back to a green bar. That's why we look at the moving averages. Beyond that, 14-day RSI moving average moving on up along with the stochastics. CCI a little tired at the end of the day. Up on the RSI, up on the histogram, up on the MACD. Not a bad chart. And the VIX. Oh yeah. How about that? This is very encouraging. For one, we have a downtick. Finally. Throughout all of this, we've been looking for a downtick. Last time we got a downtick, it was resolved in short order. Does that mean that we're going to have another fast resolution? Well, if we do, and when we do, we're looking at 23.5 on the dot, just over $1 to the downside, and then we'll have to see what it wants to go do with itself. Beyond that, we had the yin-yang we were talking about last night, and we closed below the 200-day moving average once again. So we need a confirmation, big red bar. Confirmation, big red bar would take us to a bubble corrective move target, at which time we have to see what it wants to do. So even if we get a big red bar tomorrow, which would be a confirmation bar or candle, we would then have to wait anyway for confirmation of that it wants to continue moving down. So anyways, just to point out that confirmation of the 200-day failing will not be a confirmation of the downtick target being resolved. Beyond that, 14-day RSI moving average finally leveling out. Stochastics just getting underway to the downside, along with the CCI just getting underway to the downside. RSI already heading down, MACD ticking down, MACD histogram ticking down. Excellent, excellent. And this was a good move. I mean, also getting below the 25 is a good sign. I mean, it's not drastically below it, but yeah, it's a good sign. 60-minute time frame. Pretty decent move. Is it exhausted just by today? Well, 14-day, plenty of room to move to the downside. Stochastics, hopefully they can hold down there, but they're already pretty low. CCI ticking up at the end of the day. RSI trying to loop at the end of the day. MACD histogram slightly moving up at the end of the day, and MACD down. And we have talked about the negative divergence in the 60-minute time frame with the MACD, and yeah, that was resolved today. It worked this negative divergence out today. Hopefully that doesn't mean that it's finished, but anyways, it's nice. It's nice. And as much as the VIX deteriorated today, the market should have been higher. But there's reasons why that wasn't the case. We'll get to those in a minute. TNA. Very nice move. Yep. Still has a long ways to go to the 200-day moving average. So apples and oranges with the Dow and SPX. But very strong day. Bullish engulfing. Very nice. We got an uptick. Uptick gives us a target of about 47.30, maybe 47.35, and that would be a nice move from where it is now. And 14-day RSI moving average, slight tick down, stochastics try and turn, CCI up, RSI up, histogram up, MACD down. 60-minute time frame. Is this one tired? Look at that beautiful, beautiful move. 14-day RSI moving average, all kinds of room to move to the upside. Stochastics already high. CCI getting a little tired. RSI still has room. MACD histogram, room to move. MACD, plenty of room to move. Just getting to the zero. Not bad at all. Getting to the long-term moving average bar in the 60-minute time frame. Should it have some resistance here? Yeah, it came and kissed it, backed off, and now it's attempting it again. Hopefully that can hold through till tomorrow. And XOI, oil. When oil is bullish, the market is bullish. Notice it was an update. It was light. It was not overly impressive. And neither was the movement in the Dow and SPX. So does this make sense? Sure. The important thing is we got an uptick today. And the uptick gives us a target right at 11.10. Great move from where it is now. I really hope that that can achieve that target. 14-day RSI moving average, slight tick down. Stochastics attempting to turn. CCI up, RSI up, histogram up, MACD up. Encouraging. 60-minute time frame. Nice little move today, not overly impressive. But we can see that we have a level here in the 1100 area. That should be a problem. Or at least some kind of resistance. Beyond that, we can see the struggle 60-minute time frame with the long-term moving average bar, which is to be expected. And as long as we can get some penetration, if it can emerge from the other side, wow, that would be really awesome. It's way too early to know for sure. 14-day RSI moving average, lots of room to move. Stochastics, more room to move than many of the other charts in the 60-minute time frame. CCI not ticking down at the end of the day, ticking up, along with the RSI ticking up. The histogram kind of flattening out, and the MACD, all kinds of room to move to the upside. Very encouraging. Now for the real deal, UUP. So is the problem overnight. Overnight, we had a great move in the Asian market with the dollar falling, and Europe opened, Spain said help us, and it just crapped out. If it hadn't been for that, this sucker would have been down here and would have achieved its downtick target today. What a waste. But it wasn't all bad. It wasn't all bad. We had movement all through here. It filled much of this gap. We still have all of this to fill, which is to the downside. 14-day RSI moving average ticking up. Stochastics on their way down. CCI slight tick up. Down on the RSI. Down on the MACD. Down on the MACD histogram. Definitely much better for the market bulls than the things here for the market bears. And we still have 2 days to resolve the downtick target. Sure seems like quite a bit from this move up today, but yeah, we've got 2 days. No huge worries at the moment. Unless tomorrow is up, then it'll be massively in question. But yeah, it is what it is. 60-minute time frame. Look at that. It makes a lot more sense now. We can see it rolling over from its incredible run. Matter of fact, looking at this incredible run longer term, you can see whenever it comes into contact with the long-term moving average bar, it fights with it a little bit, it doesn't emerge from the other side, and it bounces off of it, which is very bullish. What's happening now? Well, it kind of flattened out. It came in, it fought with it, it didn't emerge from the other side, it's attempting to bounce. Notice the bounce is not clean. See how this one is clean? See how this one is clean? See how this one's kind of a fight, but that's back when it was turning. So different, not in a good way for the market bears, but it is early. It's not game over for the market bears by any stretch of the imagination, but yeah, not bad. 14-day RSI moving average ticking down, 60-minute time frame. Stochastics going down, slow turning, sideways on the CCI, down on the RSI, sideways on the MACD histogram, and essentially sideways on the MACD itself as well. So it is a battle, and you can see that throughout the day. It keeps trying to touch the top short-term moving average or long-term moving average, and keeps getting kicked back. All it needs is some penetration. This is already starting to weaken. You can already see the compression in the long-term moving averages. So this is good. It just needs some time and maybe a good kick in the rear, and then it can really do some damage. Maybe even break it. If it breaks it, whoo! Then down here at what is that? 2272 would be the first spot after you break this floor right here, and which is the lower price consensus level in the 60-minute time frame for the new month. Could it do that in a day, 2 days? Yeah, it could. Hard to believe the way that it's been acting, but it is what it is. FXE. We had the uptick target was what was it? 125. 125.30, something like that. Ending with a spinning top today. Still have a couple of days to resolve that target. It's not that big of a move to get there. 14-day RSI moving average slight tick down. Stochastics on the way up. CCI down. RSI up. Histogram up. MACD up. We're looking for that bullish cross. I really hope that we get it. 60-minute time frame, very similar to UUP. You see it fighting with the long-term moving average bar, and it is collapsing. Beyond that, it's not as great. The histogram is sloping down. The MACD is trying to get a bearish cross up on the CCI, up on the stochastics, up on the 14-day RSI moving average, and up on the CCI and RSI. So it does have a strike against it. So just something to think about. But if you look at it this way, positive divergence MACD histogram, that would mean that the target would be right about here. And of course it is not anywhere near that to really work it off. So we'll see. We'll see. GLD, not bad. Hanging out inside the bar that is bullish in that it is going to wear it out, or it's trying to wear it out. Ending with a small hammer, 14-day RSI moving average moving on up. Stochastics already high though. Down on the CCI, up on the RSI, up on the histogram, and up on the MACD. Definitely more bullish than bearish. And SLV, has it got out of its trading range? No, it has not. Still firmly embedded in that little box here, and but a nice day, clearing the major price consensus level for the new month. 14-day RSI moving average up, stochastics up, CCI up, RSI up, histogram up, MACD up. Not bad. And XLF, the financials, these have really stunk all this time. Look at that. Look at that. Bullish engulfing. We have an uptick, finally. Stinking financials. And we know that it needs a retest of the 200-day moving average. Does that mean it's going to happen now? We don't know. And gives it a target right at about 14 bucks. Yeah, it's less than 50 cents. That's not a big deal. 14-day RSI moving average still ticking down. Stochastics attempting to curl up on the CCI, up on the RSI, up on the histogram, and sideways on the MACD. Apple, probably one of the single most important stocks at the moment. Is it going to lead us out? Spinning top. I don't like spinning tops. I don't like spinning tops. 14-day RSI moving average moving on up. Stochastics moving down to meet it. Up on the CCI, up on the RSI, down on the histogram, sideways on the MACD. Yeah. It looks like these need to reset. That's okay. If it can get all the way here to the 14-day RSI moving average and turn around and finish its move on up with it, it's going to be a very strong move. So long as the price does not fall apart. Currently, important price just shy of 550. Actually, 548.50. That is the test. And GE trying to get a better read on the Dow. Said last night it was outside the lower Bollinger Band, needed to move sideways or up to get back inside of it, and we did not want to see it push the lower Bollinger Band down. It's exactly what happened. Got back inside the lower Bollinger Band. We do not have an uptick. It is very obvious there is excessive separation here. There is a bubble here, but we do not have an uptick. 14-day RSI moving average has leveled out. We noticed that last night, I believe. Stochastic still moving down. CCI curling over. RSI curling over. Histogram still down. MACD still down. It is precarious, the positioning, the fat body spinning top, the candle itself. But, and it did make a new recent low today. But I would kind of say it's 50-50. Especially if we can get a curl in the 14-day RSI moving average and the stochastics. This one has a bubble to fill. And how about the big bank, JP Morgan? Yeah, JP Morgan. We already know that XLF did pretty darn good today. JP Morgan did not do quite as well, but not a bad day. Getting back inside the lower Bollinger Band. Getting an uptick. Uptick gives a target just shy of 34. You can see the 14-day RSI moving average has leveled out. The stochastics are on the way up. CCI is on the way up. RSI is on the way up. Histogram's on the way up. And even the MACD looks like it may attempt a bullish cross. JP Morgan gets a good bounce. The market is going to go with it. So, and of course, we still have positive divergence all over the place in the daily time frame. All over the place. So, boy, I would really like it. I would love to get some overshot on this and go up to the 200-day moving average in short order. That is a tall order, a long shot. It would coincide with a bar retest, but it is possible. So, man, that would spark a snapback hard. Lots of people would have to cover. So, but we shall see. And is there anything left? Nope, I think that's just about going to do it. As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you.